Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Miss Blue Radio Show. Today, I have singer, rapper, media personality, Phoenixx. I love that name, by the way.
Thank
Phoenixx,
you.
how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you? I'm happy to be alive and making it one more day. It's pouring here, but I'm here. I'm wet, but I'm here.
Oh no, yes, amen to that. I mean, I'm like, you showed me off camera that it was storming. I was like, what in the world? So where are you? Where are you located at?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Crown Heights, but I'm currently in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn right now.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so are you born and raised from
Yes, yes,
Brooklyn?
yes, born and raised, went to school here, friends, a whole life here. Even though I've lived in San Francisco for a little while, I've gotten to live somewhere else, but for most of my life, definitely New York City, Brooklyn, and the five boroughs. To be honest, too. Like I have friends in Harlem, I have friends in Queens, but I'm a Brooklyn girl to the death of me.
I can hear the accent. Do you get that a lot?
Yeah, especially I think when we start talking about being from New York, the accent comes out even more to other people. Like when we say Brooklyn, a certain way we say certain things. It's like, oh, I can
Yeah.
hear it. I'm like, oh God. I don't hear anything. I sound regular to me, but I know other people hear something different.
Yeah, that's how I get when people hear us talk. I'm from Houston, and people will swear we have like a really big Southern accent, and to us, we just like sounds pretty normal to me.
Right.
So, when we were off camera, we talked about some really good things, and I wanted to try to incorporate that into the beginning of this conversation. Let's talk about the creative process in
Hmm.
terms of not having time sometimes to take that break because you're constantly going, just like what we were talking about before we started rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times when people started really talking about what it takes to be an independent artist or independent creative or entrepreneur, I think a lot of times we leave out the conversation like burnout and like burning yourself out because you're doing so much and you're trying to be accountable for so many different things at one time that you end up maybe even overcompensating because you just want to stay the course and feel like you're being consistent. And then sometimes we end up getting FOMO and we fear missing out on things. So even when we should take a break, we're not taking a break because we feel like, oh, that could be a lucrative opportunity, or I need to go to this event to network. I need to be seen. And so you create this like hysteria where you're always working. And I was basically making that comparison to, you know, Corona and the quarantine. Unfortunately, even though it's a really bad situation happening for a lot of us, on top of being safe, it forced us to be with ourselves and deal with certain things, or not, or look at the things that we were dealing with or were doing, and do some like self reflection and self care. So I know for me, I was doing so much. I was a part of so many different things, just being an artist, and also like I started hosting shows honestly because I had stage fright. And I did it a few times,
Really?
and people, yeah, I did it because I wanted to force myself to be on the stage all night. See, being an artist, what a lot of people don't realize is when you sing, for most of us, it's a very vulnerable space to sing and be in front of people and sing especially if you're talking about something that really means something to you. It's a very vulnerable space. So that's where stage fright to me comes from a lot of the times. It's just like, I have to be vulnerable in front of this group of people right now. So in translation, I said I'm gonna start hosting shows because people thought I was funny, and I thought I had a little personality, and it forced me to be on stage all night. So even if I wasn't in the mood, whatever nerves I was going through, I had to shake that off, and I had to snap out of it. And then I did a few shows, and I started getting compliments, and people started coming up to me after, like, "Yo, you're such a dope host." And in my mind, it didn't even like materialize that it was a thing that people would appreciate it, that it's a separate skill from knowing how to perform and be an artist. I never even thought about it like that. So I was like, well, maybe there's something to this. And then I had a friend who had residency at BB King's in Times Square, and he was like, I want you to be a co-host with another friend of mine. And that was my first residency, and I was like, how did I go from just doing a couple of events to a residency? And then I like to be a part of a lot of like not-for-profit organizations with children. I started getting booked by non-for-profits. Then I started getting booked for panel discussions. Then I started getting booked for fashion shows, and I was just like, okay, this is a thing. I'm accepting it now. This is like an entity. And even like in translation as an artist, I want to start saying I'm an entertainer, because I honestly feel like when I say one or the other, people come up to me like, well, you didn't tell me you did this. You didn't tell me you did that. And I'm like,
Right.
because I almost feel like, I don't know, I'm not that I'm super humble, but I guess I'm a little timid when I talk about myself. I like to uplift other people, but I don't think I really talk about myself in that way. So a lot of times people will meet me one way and I'll never even mention something else. And then they'll see me post something on Instagram and be like, I didn't know you did this, girl. Why you didn't say anything? And I'm like, I don't know. It didn't come up in the conversation. So I'm even for myself, transitioning on just saying I'm an entertainer, because if I don't want to do music that year, I could still do something relevant in the entertainment industry that has nothing to do with making a song. So I'm grateful, that God gave me, I guess, the charisma to be able to hold people's attention without having to perform, so to speak. I'm blessed.
Yes, because you definitely have a great personality. I mean, when you said that I wouldn't say it's anxiety, but the wanting to be, unfortunately, sometimes being vulnerable when you're singing is, and kind of having, would you call it stage fright?
Yeah, no, it was definitely stage fright. And then I was overweight most of my life into my adult life. So I was almost 300 pounds pre 2016. So like just
Okay.
my insecurities with my weight, with who I was as a woman, not feeling comfortable. And then I was a songwriter for 10 years before I decided to be an artist. So there's like a whole back history to me that a lot of times doesn't really come up in conversations, because I'm more focused obviously on the present and whatever
Correct.
I've done as an artist. But as a songwriter, I grew up in the era of like when Britney Spears was lit and Ashanti, so being a brown skinned woman who was overweight writing songs, it wasn't even fathomable for me to want to be an artist. It was like a joke in my head. You had Missy, you had Queen Latifah, but those are like women that come a dime a dozen. It wasn't an everyday conversation. I'm so grateful that this culture has more plus size artists and artists who are different and who are unique to look towards. But I didn't come up in that era when I was writing songs. So I didn't have the confidence to believe that I could be an artist or that people would like me or that there was an audience for me, period, anyway. So, just going through that transition of accepting myself, of taking control of the things that I had control over, with like my weight, and getting certain things under control. That was really a journey for me. I even created a docu-series to try to document some of it, because I wanted people to
Right.
see like this wasn't about being famous. This wasn't about,
It
trending
was
on
personal.
Twitter. It was personal. Yeah, it was me overcoming things within myself and pushing a limit within myself, and also inspiring people along the way. Like, yo, if she could do that, I could do whatever I think I could do. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of me going hard about it. And a lot of times people don't want to be realistic with themselves when they say they want something, because they don't want to go as hard for it.
That's
So
correct.
it's really just how bad you want it.
And you know what? Let me also say, I don't. I think sometimes what I don't like about being in the entertainment industry is the fact that it is not a lot of lanes open for individuality. A lot of people labels expect everyone to look this perfect model physique, this way, this tone, this. I think it's so unfair, and I talk to people because I've been asked so many times, is it hard being a female artist or creator in the entertainment industry? And I say all the time that it is, because like you said, I even have had my own personal journeys and issues with just like I do not have a problem with anyone that gets cosmetic surgery. I'm actually a fan of it. A lot of people give me flack about that and they don't like that. But if I had the money, I would get some things done too. But I won't say that a lot of that comes because of the entertainment industry. And I know, just like you were saying, what it takes to be in it or seen or even picked up by people. Do you think that it's very hard in entertainment?
Yeah, I think that people are starting to like open their perspective. But I also think a lot of things is also just about marketing. Like, if people believe in someone and they're willing to put the machine and the money behind that person, they will scratch the surface. We can't
Sure.
change the way people look at skin, at colorism or certain things overnight, but we can help people transition into accepting and embracing something different. And I feel like Ari Lennox is a good example of that. J.
I
Cole
love
believes in her. He believes in her though, so he's putting the money and he's putting the machine behind her to invest in her career. So we're starting to see her, we're seeing her videos, we're seeing her ads, we're
right.
seeing certain things where her face is more visible, because that's really what it's about too. It's about visibility. If you make certain artists aware, people aware of these artists, they may patronize these artists. It's kind of like we gotta just continue to support each other, even if no one else is. And I think it starts from community first. And I think if people of color start to see that a little bit more, like, you can expect maybe white people to accept this artist, but let us start doing it. You know what I mean? Let us start patronizing and streaming their music and making sure we're reposting them and making people aware of who they are on our platforms. Because really, all we have control over is our platforms. So we could start there.
That's
And
true.
word of mouth is literally still the biggest form of marketing in 2020. There's still nothing bigger than that. When somebody telling somebody and that person telling somebody and that person telling somebody, it moves faster than anything ever. Even social media sometimes. Because somebody could post something and 1 million people could see it, but 2 million people know about it. Because half of those people are not on social media. I've met plenty of people that don't have social media. So how do they still know about things? Because somebody's
Right.
telling them. You know what I mean? So word of mouth is still the biggest thing. It is a struggle, and I think even us as women, just us creating more of unity amongst ourselves and supporting each other. I have a lot of, like, the word allies being used a lot. I have a lot of lighter skinned women allies who tell me that my brown skin is beautiful all the time. And they defy those narratives that there's this war amongst light skinned women and dark skinned women every time I speak to them. Because they're consistently speaking life into me. And they consistently, you know what I'm saying, when they see certain things that they don't like, speaking up about it and
That's
saying something
amazing.
about it. You know what I mean? So it's really us just taking that responsibility to change that narrative. Like, Black is beautiful, telling our little girls, telling our nieces, telling our cousins they're beautiful every chance they get. You know what I mean? And just making them confident and building them up so that they're bold enough to want to be the artists of tomorrow, where they don't even have to consider the things that we thought about. They're not even thinking about, oh, are they not going to play my music because I'm brown skinned? That won't even be a thought, if we just continually keep speaking positive affirmations into them. I'm really confident of that, because there's certain things kids don't even consider now that we had to consider. So it's possible.
Oh yeah.
It's possible. It's possible.
It is possible. Yes. The way that you worded that. Going back to the women unity, I am so proud. I am telling you, Phoenixx, I am so proud how many women that I have met between 2019 and 2020 that felt like you and I, about coming together and supporting each other. I honestly, sometimes it's overwhelming
It
because
is. So
there was
that's
a point where we were not doing that.
we
And
weren't.
I'm so happy that the
I
women,
am.
like, I even know, like, from LA, Tasha Biltmore, I mean, constantly promoting and saying, you look good, liking a picture. Ooh, girl, you killing it.
Right.
And so that's sometimes, you know what? Sometimes men think women greatest enjoyment is a man complimenting us.
Nope.
I'm here to say that greatest enjoyment, we really like to be complimented by another boss woman. Hey,
That's a
girl, I see
fact.
you so much, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does, because it lets you know, even though she got her own thing going on, she took a second to stop to recognize that on this road she's not the only one. And that's a dope way of thinking about it. Like, yo, I see you out here. You know what I'm saying? You got a catering company and I got a beverage company. I see you doing your thing with your beverage company. Maybe one day we could cater an event, or we could get sponsorship to do a music festival. That's how we should be thinking. I don't have to
Exactly.
stand in your way, and you don't have to stand in my way. Most of us are on our own different paths, doing our own thing. So a lot of times, even the hate and that energy, it's unnecessary, because we're not even after the same things in life. You selling food and I'm selling drinks. Why would we not do something together? It's common sense. So yeah, I'm gonna acknowledge when I see you doing your thing because I know there's a possibility we may cross paths and we may be able to put each other in a better position just because we
Yes,
working together. You know what I mean? So I'm all
absolutely.
about that. I'm all about getting ahead. And a lot of times people want to feel like they got there on their own and they have to. I'm not on that. That's working hard. I want to work smart. I don't want to work hard no more. I put in the time. You know, those first couple of years when you building yourself, that's the groundwork. But then there comes a certain
Exactly.
point you create allies, you create a network, and you could get to the point a lot quicker without stressing yourself self out and overworking yourself. And that's the point most of us, if we've been doing this for a while, that's the point we're trying to get to, where I could call you up and get something done, and you could call me up and get something done. And that'd be that. And then the next time I see your post on Instagram, I'm like, yes, sis, you're still killing it from the last time I seen you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's the energy that I'm trying to be on. All 2020, I feel like it's going to be the calming year. But as we be able to, talk to Bill and get more about our side, 21 and 22 going to be super intentional. Like, I had enough time to rest, deal with myself. If it was, maybe it was personal. Maybe it had nothing to do with business. And you just, because even for me, I feel like emotionally, I just turned a certain age. Certain things that were important to me aren't anymore. Certain things I didn't think were as going to be as important to me are now more important to me. So just transitioning just from a mental and emotional state, really settling in who you are. And in 2021 is intention. You feel me? All about intention.
Yes, I totally agree because I try to tell a lot of people like a lot of decisions this year in 2020. I had no idea that I was going to make either. It was just some certain things that I decided that I would rather do it myself, but it was nothing personal to the people that I was working with, but they didn't took it personal, unfortunately. But like you said, sometimes it's just a mental thing that you're going through, and it has nothing to do with anyone else. And hopefully, people can understand that. And if not, we're on we picture, and that's all that matters.
Right. And I think, you know, if anybody really loves you, they eventually make peace with the choices that you make, even if they don't necessarily always agree with them. And that's even the space I'm getting to with people I love who make choices that I don't necessarily agree with. Just kind of being able to say, I love them anyway. Maybe I need to distance myself from them for a little while, or maybe God needs them to go through this for them to get to their own place in life, and it's not for my own understanding. So people are gonna have to do it for us, and we're gonna have to do that for other people sometimes too, and that's okay. Because who's supposed to be around will stick, and that's just kind of how I feel. And some people will ride the wave with you, and some people will get off. You know what I'm saying, at a certain stop, and that's okay because it's all a part of the plan. I feel like ultimately.
No, that's a big fact. And let us know. How did you get into music? Because you have a amazing, powerful voice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was listening like, geez. So I mean, did you get have like lessons, voice lessons? Who inspired you to even start singing and writing your music?
Well, I have a very interesting storyline. I grew up in the Catholic Church, so anybody who knows anything about Catholic Church or music from that culture, a lot of it is very operatic. It's very
Hmm.
like, classical music inspired. Sometimes it's in Italian, you know what I'm saying, or a different language, because Catholicism spread across Europe. So a lot of those songs, different songs, are in different languages, different prayers. And I had an uncle who was very cultured, and he was into classical music and finer arts. So I kind of had like homeschool vocal lessons. I didn't necessarily have to pay anybody. I had my uncle who was taking piano lessons. He would teach me what he knew. He influenced me by playing certain songs. Then my mother is totally obsessed with gospel music. So I heard every type of gospel music. Even though we were Catholic, I still heard other denominations. So I would come home and I would listen to Kojic and Baptist and Pentecostal music at home. And then my grandmother, she was influenced by all type of secular music as well. So then I had the Stevie Wonders and you know what I mean, the Nina Simone's and all of those different type of old school influences. And then eventually in my preteens, I discovered hip hop. You know what I mean, rap music. Reggae. I'm partially West Indian, so we have reggae music. So this is like a huge gumbo of music I'm just around. So I'm influenced by everything, which is ultimately why I ended up a songwriter. I feel like because I can literally do any genre of music. There's probably not a genre that really in a way that I can't find something in it to love, and it influenced the way I write a song. So it's kind of like schizophrenia a little bit, because it's literally like I could take on, if it's country and I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. Like,
Right.
that's literally how I am about it. And being that I'm a Black woman, it's almost like a rebellious energy in me as well. That I'm not gonna just do your prototype stereotypical R&B music. And there's nothing wrong with those artists that do that. Don't get me wrong. So this is not hating, because those artists influence me as well. But when you get Phoenixx, you're gonna get a gumbo. You're gonna hear something that's like, this gives me that, but this also gives me a little bit of this, or it gives me that, but I also feel like it's a little bit of this. And I like that about me. I like that you can't necessarily describe who I am. I'm more of an experience than I am a sound. And if you feel good, then that's the accomplishment. You know what I mean? As long as, or if you feel healed, because that's the other thing I like to say. I want to make audio medicine. So either you're gonna feel happy or you're gonna feel healed. And those are the two. That's my two goals when I make music.
You have a lot of wisdom. I hear poetry in your voice. Have you ever wrote poetry at one point in your life?
That's where the hip hop came from. The hip hop, to me, I call it more poetry than I call it rap. But because I do it to a beat, it's classified as rapping. But a lot of my stuff, I'm trying to be more impactful than I am just trying to, like, you know, talk smack. Even though I got some records where I'm talking smack too, because I just like to show versatility. I want to show some versatility, but I approach most things like poetry. It has to be. I want it to be intentional. I want you to be able to hear my songs and speak them, and they still make you feel something, even without the music.
Yes, that's dope. So you have a new video titled Halfway, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that experience, how that came about, like the song and the process.
Okay. Well, I've been in my share of relationships, and this song was inspired from a relationship I was in about 8 years. I feel like off and on. It was like one of those toxic things where you get so used to the person, you just end up with them even when you know they ain't no good for you. And this person had this thing with me where he would try to create these goals or these certain requirements for me to be good enough for him to commit to me in the way that I was asking him to. Oh. And I just got tired of that. I'm like, why do I always have to prove something to you for you to want to be with me? What do you have to prove to me? Why do you feel like what you're doing is suffice and it's enough? Because in your head, you think it's enough. But then I have to prove something to you for you to be the man I need you to be. And I was like, this can't be love. Like, love has to be about a compromise. You have to be willing to want to meet me partially on the things that I'm asking for to motivate me to be the rest of the woman you asking me to be. So this song was really just me coming out of frustration of, like, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. I feel like you don't care. I feel like you don't respect it. And I don't deserve that. And I don't think anybody who deserves that, who willingly comes into a relationship trying to give their all, deserves that type of person in their life. Or in any relationship. We don't even have to make it about romance. You got to meet your family halfway. You got to meet, every relationship is about reciprocity. You're welcome. Every relationship is about reciprocity. So at this point, if you ain't meeting me halfway, especially in 2020 with all that's going on, I can't be invested in that type of relationship, because time is valuable, as you can see. Life is precious, as you can see. And we don't need to waste it on people who don't value us and don't treasure our presence around them. I'm good.
I agree. No, it's energy consuming and it's draining mentally, and we don't have time for that. And I would like to just play a clip of this video. I have some people watching it, and it's a very beautiful video. You guys check it out on YouTube though, because unfortunately I could only play a small clip of it. So we're gonna get off camera just to play this video and come right back. So just stay tuned.
Yeah.
You can
Halfway.
sing. You
Thank
can
you.
sing.
Thank you. With the A.
That's how we say it in Houston. That girl can sing.
I love it.
First off, that's a lot of emotions. I could tell you went through something. That's a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
How
And
can they find?
frustration.
You said in frustration.
Yeah, that too.
I can see in that video. I mean, if they want to see the full video, give them your social media handler so they can watch it. Because I got people tuned in. I know they probably like, that's it.
Yes, please. First of all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Phoenixx Rocks. It's Phoenixx. It's two X's in Phoenix, y'all. Same regular spelling of Phoenix with an extra X. Rocks. I actually am working on a website soon though, and I'm gonna make my website a really short one. It's gonna be Phoenixx, so that can be super simple for everybody. But for now, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Halfway is up there. I have plenty of other videos. As she said earlier, I rap too, y'all. So I got a couple of hip hop joints up there. And I started my own docu-series called Bamboo. So you get to see some of my transition as an artist, from the weight loss to like just figuring out who I am as an artist and finding my identity. I'm actually working on producing a fourth installation of it. I have 3 out already that are kind of like trailers. And yeah, I'm just growing and building every day, and I kind of want my audience to grow with me. So you get to go see some of the older stuff, and then come all the way up to halfway and see how far I've come. And I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure they will. I will, and I'm definitely going to stay posted with everything that you have going on. So tag me. You know, everything is closed right now. Well, a lot of things are closed right now where I'm at in Houston. I don't know how it is in Brooklyn.
We're like going into phase 3 because we have a lot of stricter rules than everybody else. So our numbers went down a lot more than everybody else because we didn't get to go back outside as fast. So we're like phase 2 into 3 where we can go to like restaurants and sit outside, but we still have to be like socially distanced. But we got a little bit more freedom, and our nail salons just opened back again.
Oh, really? Just open?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had a lot of stricter rules than everybody else, but we were able to control it. So our numbers are like the lowest. We went from the highest to the lowest.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I had been watching and I was praying for New York.
Cuomo don't play. Cuomo is not playing in New York, and he
I
just
like
painted.
I like Cuomo.
And he just painted Black Lives Matter outside of the Trump Towers in New York too. He allowed a permit for them to paint Black Lives Matter in front of the Trump Towers in New York City. He's not playing.
That is a great guy.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's not with it.
Yeah, trust me, I like we faithfully like tune into his show, my husband and I, and we're always like, he is about his shit. Like, I really like the fact that he's really into the Black Lives Matter movement. He's not biased. He doesn't care what anyone thinks. And he does have that pit bull mentality. And I feel like you gotta have that in entertainment and just in the social
too. You gotta
have to be, you know.
Yeah, because people will try to play you, and he can't be bullied. Like, you Trump to everybody else, you're just a regular man to me. Like, I don't care about none of that. If you're not making sense, you're not making sense. And he's about making sense. So I'm with it. Yeah. He's been stepping up to the plate. So yeah, we got a little bit more freedom out here. My birthday just passed, so I did something on my roof, and it was a safe environment, and it felt comfortable because we all knew that at this point, everybody for the most part is okay. Anybody who was sick probably went to the hospital or quarantined themselves. So yeah, it's been an experience for us all. But New York, we're getting a little more freedom. As long as we respect the rules, we should be able to kind of get this under control. You know, hopefully they talking about the kids going back to school. It's very controversial because I feel like they could get it under control by September, but I think that this may last at least till 2021 for all of us until we can really get a wrap on it. And we'll have certain freedoms and certain liberties at little bits of people at a time, but we won't be able to meet on a large scale like a stadium. Maybe to like mid 2021. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately, We're dealing with that too.
A group of 100 people is like a successful moment for us as a society right now. If we get allowed to have 100 people in one event, like that's a victory. Because other than that, it's going to be really exclusive moments. But that also might be kind of dope as far as creating more opportunities in this industry, because you won't be able to just sell out an arena. You'll have to book several shows, and people will have to come and experience that separately in groups, which might make it a little more intimate. And if they ban social media, we'll be even better. Yes.
You said if they ban social media?
Huh? If they ban social
You said if
media?
they ban?
Like at certain events.
Oh,
like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has like a pouch that you put your phone in when you come to his events if he doesn't want you to record it. So it's an intimate experience. You don't get to record it. So that's what I'm saying. It could be lucrative for us as artists, the corona, if we have to perform in front of smaller audiences. Because I could say, I don't want you to bring your phone in, so the only way you can see my show is to pay to see my show.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it might end up working in our favor as entertainers, or even you as a media person doing special events. If you don't want, the footage or certain things to get out before a certain time, you could do exclusive events and do like a pay per view and make people pay, when you're ready to release it because they couldn't see it when it happened. Social media made things better, but it also made things less exclusive because it's so accessible. So then nobody pays for anything, So groups of 100, maybe 150, that might be a dope little look because it'll force people to have to be in the moment, be present, not be on social media all day, fake, you know what I'm saying, Instagramming the entire event and snapping the entire event. You'll have to actually be there.
That sounds good because I'm an artist too. I rap and all that too.
And I gotta hear some of your stuff.
It's killing me. I have so many pages. This is one page, and then I have a whole rap page, and people see my rap side. They be like, "Damn, I ain't know shit." they don't know. I flip.
You're a beast. I could tell.
Well, you have to, right?
No, you do.
You have to find a balance.
Yeah, you do.
But the artist side, it has been killing me because a lot of the things out here have shut down. You can't just be doing shows.
Right.
So I've been trying to find ways to, work on that because it's not a lot to promote because we can't go nowhere.
Yeah, you got to send me your info. I want to look up your stuff because although I'm an artist, I do curate events and stuff like that. And I'm in the next year or so when things start to open up, I'm gonna be traveling. I curate events as well where I book a group of my favorite artists and I throw events. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody makes money. They get their ticket sales, all that. It be lit. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Anybody from Houston, I just think automatically is talented. There's not a person I've met from Houston that's not talented. Utterly talented. From all different type of swag, all different type of style. You know what I'm saying? Y'all birthed Erykah Badu and Beyonce. Come on. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do.
I like that.
You do whatever you want. Yeah, so I know you got some fire.
Well, Phoenixx, is there anything that you would like to mention as far as projects that you're working on or just anything in general that we missed?
I just want everybody to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram at YesThat'sPhoenixx. As well, I'm pushing halfway for a while, but I have a really great record coming out in the fall. I won a competition in Boston in 2019, and part of the prize was winning a really dope acoustic video. So my single, I'm gonna drop it with the acoustic video first, but I am gonna shoot a real music video, and all I'm gonna say is it's a tribute to Mary J. Blige, the visual. So it's gonna be lit. And it's a song about just overcoming obstacles and circumstances. And at first, when I made this song, it was really personal. But with Corona and everything everybody's going through, it's going to be a song everybody can relate to. Because in some type of way, you've overcome something dealing with this. So I feel like the song's going to end up being bigger than I thought it was going to be, just because it's going to be so relatable. When us coming out of all of this on the other side of everything we've been through this year, it's going to be an overcoming song for everybody. And that's going to really mean more to me than it being a lit song or popular. Is that I hope it's going to, affect people and be really dope as far as healing and getting through. People have lost lives. You got the Black Lives Matter movement, all of these different things happening. But the song, at the end of the song, it says, but I know that I can make it. You know what I mean? And so that's gonna be the message, that even though you went through some stuff, you can make it.
Yes, you
So
can.
yeah, look out for the new music. I have some mixtapes. My SoundCloud is pretty lit. Most of my SoundCloud is more hip hop stuff. So if you're more into hip hop and you're not into the singy stuff, I got something for everybody. And as you can see, I'm at a session right now trying to work on new stuff. So yeah, and I'm making a move soon. I don't want to announce it publicly, but I'm making a move soon. So I'm looking forward to what happens when I relocate as well. I think that's gonna be a really dope look. Because I'm gonna be around some different type of creative people. So I'm excited for the future. I always have music. I was a songwriter for so long, so sometimes I feel inspired. I may even randomly drop a new record. Who knows? Like, I'm that kind of artist. Like, I do what I want. So yes, thank you for having me on your show and letting me talk about myself for 30 minutes.
Absolutely. I was so happy to connect with you. Like I say, I love to network with people and believe that we cross paths for a reason. So I'm looking forward to working with you in the future, and keep me posted on all your projects, because I'm big in music. I'm so big, rap side, R&B. I don't care, country, pop, that's me all the way. I love listening to everything, and I'll keep you posted as well. And wish you nothing but the best. And happy belated birthday.
Thank you. And I eventually want to get to Houston. I took myself on tour last summer through a company called So Far, and I did like a 6-city tour. And when I got to Atlanta, I met an artist from Houston, and I had met her manager, and they was like, yeah, you need to come down here and come vibe with us. So I definitely want to get to Houston too. Houston and Nashville are like 2 places on my list of cities I want to get to. So that would definitely be dope too. I can't wait for Outside to open. I wish everybody would just listen, stay indoor, so we could get this over with, so we can live life. And it ain't gonna be exactly the same, but at least we could commune with each other every once in a blue.
I agree. Yes. Keep your mask on.
Yeah, and stay home until we can come outside, till everybody figures out if they sick or not. Because that's really what it is. It's waiting until the last person is sick, or at least until they can find enough of the antibodies. So like, chill out.
Right.
Chill out, y'all.
Absolutely.
It's plenty of artists. You got music, I got music. It's plenty of things you could do with your time while you wait for Outside to open. Go support an independent artist today.
You know what? Another thing that you just said, it's plenty of time to listen to these new podcasts and radio shows, y'all. It is so, just tune in, even if it's just 5 minutes.
Right.
Because it is not easy doing what we do.
And consistently too. The days you feel like it and the days you may not feel like it.
That's right.
So, yeah. Well, we're going to get the love back because we give the love. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Please send me the link so I can share it on my pages and stuff like that. And on my social medias, please send me so I can rep the brand.
Yes, I will. And you do the same.
All right. Have a good day.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.